Morning, Lois. It's Friday. Last weekend I went to Lyon on Friday and Saturday, and so I thought for today's video I could show you some of the highlights from my weekend in Lyon. The main difference between living in Paris and living in Washington State is the lack of mountains, and this can cause a city to feel suffocating at times, as if I'm being buried under all the buildings like a mole person in the metro. Getting out of the city felt really great, and Lyon, even though it's a big city, has some different terrain and beautiful scenery. We got up early Friday morning and rode the train to Lyon. Upon arrival, we went on a boat tour, and even though it was slightly rainy, the wind on my face felt so refreshing.
Sit down and fire away. I know it's tricky when you're feeling low, when you feel like your flavor is gone the way of a pre-shell pistachio. I know you.
After a stop for lunch, we went on a tour of La Triboulle, which are passageways that were created for silk merchants in Lyon around the 4th century, when Lyon was especially famous for its silk making. We started at the top of the hill and worked our way down in the footsteps of the silk merchants. On the way down, we saw many famous sights and heard many stories from our lovely Austrian tour guide, who was really excellent, even though she said we walked slower than Italians. At the end of the tour, we got to watch the silkscreen printing process. The city of Lyon holds many interesting things, such as this incredibly old amphitheater where warriors used to fight and executions were held, and this fountain which was built by the same man who built the Statue of Liberty. Not only is it beautiful, but Lyon is also the gastronomic capital of France, and probably of the world as well. We ate many delicious things, and also some strange things that were in the form of sausage. My favorite part was walking along the river at night, because the lights on the bridges made it sparkle. On Saturday, we drove out to a town called Trin-l'Hermitage and did some wine and chocolate tasting, which is always interesting to me because usually when it comes to drinking wine, I just pick the cheapest thing on the menu, so it's good for me to get a little more culture. The weather was lovely, and we drove up to the chapelle of the vineyard, which was located at the top of the hill, and we could see the view of the village in the valley. It was absolutely gorgeous, and it reminded me of being in eastern Washington near Leavenworth, so it felt nice to do something that felt like home. On top of being an excellent and educated weekend, I also got to eat creme brulee, so everything was right with the world. Other than that, this week has been not so nice, mostly due to the fact that our internet has been down pretty much the entire week at our building. And it's not down completely, it's just really slow. Like someone in the building is torrenting something or downloading something and it's causing everything else to not work. And I never realized how much of an internet addict I was until I didn't have internet and went slowly crazy. But yeah, besides that, everything's been pretty good. I had a class at the Louvre for one of my classes. It's the Global Orientations class that everyone in the entire NYU Paris is required to take. And it's a lot about learning about French republicanism. We went to the Louvre and examined how the architecture copies Greek architecture, but with its own French stamp on it, and it was really fascinating, and that was really fun. I hope you have a really great weekend, and I will see you on Tuesday.